Hello, this is Mohammed.
Hey, I put in an inquiry online, and I'm just following up on that.
Gotcha. You filled in the application on
Yeah.
our website? Okay. Gotcha. Let me gather some information on your house so that I can get you an offer, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, I put it into the We Buy Homes on Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I am at We Buy Home Nationwide at Facebook, so would you mind if
Yeah.
I get some information? Let me see. Okay, so
You
your
know,
address. Sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead. I'll tell you.
Okay. I just see your information. I'm sorry, it just took a bit for me to just check it out. Okay. So
Yeah.
your house is on. Okay, got it.
Mhm.
All right. So I pulled it up online. Is it a 4-bed and 2-bed?
It is, yeah. And
Okay.
I just want to tell you a few things about it. So it was listed in the 160 somewhere. I don't remember where. I bought it for. I was able to get them down quite a bit. I bought it for 158. Since I bought it, and I've only had it since May 10th, I had company come in and repaint the entire interior and put up a privacy fence in the back. It's kind of a double lot, so it's a good sized lot. And I put on the form that the lease that I'll take is 145. So that leaves, 45, 55, like a $15,000 loss for me. But I don't know if that's enough gain for you. You know what I mean?
So I don't know about the market and how much it's gonna be going for if you fix it up. Because if we list it back in the market, obviously we have to go through the route of listed with the realtor, and we have to pay closing costs and stuff like that, right?
And so I checked with my realtor that I bought it from, and I said, if I want to sell it and go through you, what do you think? And she ran some comps, and she said, since you did what you did on it, plus the square footage went up a little bit here, she says, I would suggest that we put it out there for 175. Of course, it'll come down a little bit, but that's what she said.
Right. So let me ask you a few questions because it's not going to be, I don't think we can buy traditionally where we can make a cash offer because we at least need to have, after all expenses, with the full transparency, we at least need to have 15 to 20% profit in our pocket, right, if we put all the work in, okay, with full transparency. But we have other ways to buy houses where we can help you, if you don't mind me asking you a few questions. So my question is, did you take out a loan or a mortgage to buy this house?
I paid cash.
I'm sorry?
I paid cash.
You paid cash?
Yeah.
Okay. So the only way we can make something happen is if you become the bank, where we can sell or finance it. We can maybe give you a down payment, take over the house. Take over the property and turn it into a rental, and then we rent it out. And from whatever we can get as a rental, then we can share a portion of that. Like we can give you the majority of that every single month as a payment with a balloon period on it. So let's say I buy the house for not even 145. Let's say I buy the house for 160. Okay, not 145, 160, right? And we're gonna put a down payment. I don't know what it is. We're gonna make a down payment to you. We're gonna take over the house and we're just gonna turn it into a rental. And once we do that, you have no more headaches. We're gonna handle everything, whether the house is vacant or occupied. We're still gonna make a monthly payment to you for the term of like 5 years. And at the end of 5 years, we're just gonna take out a loan or a mortgage, or we're just gonna sell the house back in the market, and we're gonna pay the rest of it, whatever is left over. So I think we can, if you are okay with that, maybe we can go on that route where you don't have to take the loss.
That's something I was interested in because, I could leave it here myself because I'm going to go out of state. I could leave it here myself and rent it. But I was looking for the cash to go buy a new one and pay cash for it. You know what I mean?
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Okay.
But the thing is, we don't have much, skin in the game if we go on that route. 175, we're going to come out of our pocket. Like, even if, let's say, if we can sell it for 170, right? We're going to come out of our pocket if we pay 145. And we will have no profit left on this house, unfortunately.
Well, you'll gain 25. It's not going to cost 25 to close on the house. There's not a thing you have to do to it.
I understand. Let's say it's 145. Let me just give you the breakdown, right? It's 145, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we listed, we buy it from you. We pay the closing costs. That will cost about another $1,500 to $2,000, right?
Okay.
Let's just assume 2,000. We list it back in the market. 6% commission goes to the realtor, 3% for the seller agent, 3% for the buyer's agent. Okay.
You don't have to pay. You don't have to pay for the buyer's agent. You can put it in there where you don't have to pay for it. But go ahead.
So if you don't
So
pay
I
for the
bought
buyer's
it.
agent,
He didn't.
so
The seller didn't pay for my buyer's agent. Nobody did.
I understand, but let's say we just pay for the seller's agent 3%. Let's just say, okay?
Okay.
And we put it out for like 170, right? We pay for the seller's agent. If you don't pay for the buyer's agent, if somebody have to bring a buyer, they have to be very motivated to pay the buyer's agent. So if they're willing to pay the buyer's agent, they're not gonna come at the listing price, obviously. If you list it for 170,
Gotcha.
right? They're
Yeah.
gonna make sure that they calculate their 3% in, so that they're gonna make an offer, and they will ask for concessions. On this market, it's very normal, right? If they're gonna take out a loan, let's say they ask for 2% concession, and they're gonna pay their own buyer's agent, which is gonna be 3%. So they'll cut off that 5% from their side. I have to pay 3% for my seller's agent because I have to pay that. I have to pay my side of the closing cost, and they have to pay their side of the closing cost, right? On closing. So if I pay 3% for mine, which is gonna be another, let's say I sell the house for 160 or 165, right? That's gonna be what? 3,000 and 1,848, 5,000, right? So 5,000 goes up on my side, and then he's paid his 3,000, so he just reduced the price. Plus he wants 2% concession. So at the end, I'm losing money. At the end, and this thing gonna be listed for what? Maybe like 2 months, maybe at least, before it goes out of the market, right? When you do all the paperwork and stuff. So we're not gonna have any profit. And I agree with you. If you wanna live in it, it's the best choice. Or you wanna rent it out yourself, and you have a property management company who can help you, or you can, manage it yourself. That's great. If you wanna go on that route. But I don't think
Well, what
the
would be?
investors are showing.
I'm not saying I would change my mind, but what would be the lowest that would allow for you to make a profit?
So let's say if the house is, let's say the house is about, like, we can sell the house for 160, right? We're gonna come at 60%. Sorry, 70%. 70% of that.
Down for me. What would you be able to give me? Just break it down for me.
Okay, so I'm just gonna make it easy for you. You said the house doesn't need any work, right?
Yeah, you know what? There's some cracks on the front porch. I would fill those in with that rubber cement stuff, and I'd paint it to make it look nice, and that's it.
Okay. So in that case, let's say if we make you a cash offer, we have to be at 108 to make a cash offer to you.
108?
108, 108,000.
Oh, that's a big loss for me. Yeah.
That's what I said. Because if
I
anybody,
just didn't do it. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
No, or if you want to just sell it with the realtor, you have a couple months to stay on the market. I would say just go on the realtor route, right? You never know if you might gonna get somebody who's just gonna come in with the conventional loan and gonna buy it from you.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Well, gosh, this conversation helped me a lot. I really appreciate it. I appreciate your time and your knowledge. Thank you.
No problem. And if you wanna, follow back up with me, where you willing to do seller financing, where you're gonna be the bank, you don't have to worry about anything. Just give me a call back. We're gonna work something out where you don't have to lose any money, and you can get some mailbox money every single month, which maybe go towards your other house.
And you would give how much down?
So since you're the bank, let's say I'll do maybe like 20 down. And then maybe I don't know. I have to run the number. I would say like maybe we can give you like 1,000 per month that goes to your bank account. Let me just quickly run some number so that I'm not just talking out of my biz, right?
Yeah.
Let me just quickly run some numbers so that way you understand. Okay. So let's say I put 20 down that goes into your pocket, right? And then we will give you about $1,300 per month.
And what's the sale of the house on that? In this case, what's the price of the sale?
160,000. We'll give you the whole thing. 160.
Okay. And you put 20 down.
20 down. I'll give you $1,300 per month. That's gonna go to your pocket every single month, right? Whether or not the house is vacant or has a renter in it. Okay.
Uh huh.
And then I'll put a balloon for 5 years. So balloon is like, we're just gonna make you $1,300 per month for 5 years, and at the end of 5 years, we might gonna sell it, or we're just gonna refinance it, and we're gonna pay rest of it off. So you're not gonna lose any money on your pocket. So you're gonna get $1,300 per month every single month for 5 years. If we sell the house earlier than 5 years, you're gonna get your money. If we sell it at the 5-year mark, you're gonna get your money.
That's an intriguing offer as well. I mean, I'd have to have a lawyer look at that, right?
Yeah.
To say like, well, what happens if you went out of business? What happens? No
Sure.
offense. What happens if you die, or whatever? What happens to me?
Right. So
what happens if you stop making payments?
So let me answer that question for you. So when you buy houses like that, it's called seller financing, right? And we close all of our deals in Texas with a company called Hudley Title. Okay, they do seller financing, paperwork, and they are in the whole state of Texas. They have mobile notary and all that good stuff, right? So in the paperwork, on the closing document, there is a specific performance clause that's included when you buy houses through seller financing. We have one house in Keelan, Texas, and one in Odessa that we are buying this way. Okay, just like the way I'm explaining to you. In that case, there's a specific performance clause that basically says that if we ever miss a single payment to you, like monthly payment, right, to you, right, after you take over the house, you rent it out, if we ever miss a single payment to you, you are entitled to take the house back on your name. Means that we'd lose the deed. It basically says you don't have to foreclose on us. Like, let's say, we take over the house on year 3, my company goes out of business. I call bankruptcy. Hopefully, God forbid, it never happens, right? If I go out of the business, right, and I can make a payment to you, all you have to do is you have to go back to my title company and tell them that, hey, this man is not paying me anymore. What can I do to take my house back? They're going to give you a few documentation that you need to fill out and file in the county. You can just drive to your county, file those documents, pay like $20, $30 or maybe like $50, and the deed going to change back to your name. And to make sure you are secured, right? After we close, we're not going to make the payment to you directly. No. What we're going to do is we're going to hire a mortgage servicing company that we're going to pay. They're going to take out the money from our bank account, and they're going to pay you every single month, right? And after that, they're going to make sure that you get an email, and we get an email that shows the proof that, hey, we have made the payment to you for that month, that it went to your bank account, and we paid. So if we ever default, that say we miss a single payment, you will have the paper trail as well as the documentation from this mortgage servicing company that basically says that we missed a payment and that's why you took the house back. To make sure that.
I like that deal. Yeah, I like that deal. So that's at $160,000, huh? And there's no closing costs or any kind of cost to me to do that, and then you pay. Well, you're estimating $20,000 down. You're estimating $13,000 a month or $1,300 a month.
Right.
I don't want to cause you any unnecessary work, but could you kind of figure out the details to say, yes, it definitely is $160,000, it definitely is 20, or whatever it is,
Do you want me to email that to you?
Because I'm interested in that, yeah.
Okay, I can email that to you, and I can also send a contract over. Means that, with all the terms, if you have a lawyer, you want to go to the lawyer, that's good. I can email that to you. I can also include a contract that spells out everything, so you are not you are not blunt out there, right? I will make sure that I email that to you with all the documentation. If you want to take it to your lawyer, go ahead, do so, right? And then once we go to the closing table, if your lawyer want to see all the closing document prior to you sign everything to make sure that you are safe and secure, we can also make sure that our title company send the documentation to your lawyer before we finalize everything.
Gotcha. Now, one last question. What happens if I die?
Okay, that's a great question. So if you think you are older, right, and you think you're gonna die within like next 5 years, or if you feel like, okay, I need to be secured for that, we can also include a clause on the closing document that basically says that after your death, your money will be routed to your heirs, basically. So if you have a son or daughter, basically, they will receive the payment in your behalf.
Okay, well, what I was going to do with my house was I was going to go, and I've already talked to a lawyer. I forget what it's called, but it's kind of like a trust. But anyhow, when I die, it automatically goes in somebody else's name, who I who I
Yeah.
say. So there's not really going to be a will or anything. It's just going to automatically, the next day it's theirs, you know. So in this particular case, then they would start getting the money.
That's even better. If you have a trust, we can actually include that on the closing. We can actually include that as an addendum on the closing package. Like we have our
Okay.
transaction coordinator. I can just let my transaction coordinator know who I pay, and I can tell her
Okay.
like, hey, do me a favor, just include an addendum that will be signed by me and you. That basically will say that on the event of death of the seller, the seller's fund or the money from the proceeds from the sale of this house will be reverted to the trust. So
Okay.
you're gonna sign the document. That's gonna be part of the closing document. That's gonna be given to a mortgage servicing company, like who's gonna make the payment to you and us. And let's say, God forbid, you die after a year or two, your son or daughter, whoever, just can notify the mortgage servicing company who's gonna distribute the money to your account every single month, and they're just gonna ask for like a death certificate as a proof. And once they provide that, they're just gonna reroute the money to the trust instead of going through all the hassle.
Okay. And okay. Yeah, I'm interested in that. I think I need to understand the details better. I heard them at the high level. I need to be able to put it together in my head. And but yeah, I'm interested in something like that. So can I give you my email address?
Is it?
Yeah, you have it. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna do two things. I'm gonna write everything up, right? So I'm not gonna be able to do it immediately because I'm in the middle of something. I'm gonna write everything by the end of the day. Also, I'm gonna include a contract that you can actually take to your lawyer, and if you wanna sit with him, go through all the details to hash everything out to make sure that you are safe and secure, right?
Okay.
You can do that.
Yeah.
And then once everything is finalized, then we can open the escrow. We can do our due diligence, right? Like, walking the house to make sure there's not a giant hole in the middle of the house. Just joking. You know what I'm saying by that, right? And
Yeah.
due diligence, and once everything gets finalized, then you can just go to the closing and we can set everything up. As I mentioned, we're not going to make any payment to you directly. We're going to use a mortgage servicing company called Westar, and they're going to make sure that everything is tracked. You don't have to call us every month, be like, hey, when my payment is coming. They're going to take out the money from our account, and they're going to send the money to your account. They're going to send you an email and us an email to make sure that all parties are updated in this scenario.
Okay. But that money should transfer the day that we sign and I'm walking out of here so I could take it somewhere else, right?
$20,000 going to be given to you on the day of closing, and that $1,300 per month going to be given to you every single month, and that's going to be financed by the mortgage servicing company. So you will know exactly what day in the month you're going to get that money every single month.
Okay. But now you don't know it's exactly 20 and it's exactly 13. That's what you're going to go figure out and come back and let me know, right?
I am pretty confident that we can do 200,000. I'm pretty confident. I would say like 97%, 98%, and 1,300 a month.
Okay.
As I told you, but we are buying two houses right now. One in Killen and one in Odessa. We have one in the back pocket in Houston, Texas. So we buy a lot of houses in Texas. I just quickly look at it and I was like, okay, I think we can do that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I'm just saying I haven't added up $1,300 a month for 5 years. How much is that? I haven't. I haven't put all that together in my head myself. So
right.
Okay.
So I'll break everything down for you. Once I send you an email, I'm gonna say, hey, this is Mohammed. I sent you an email with all the details on the contract. You go in, you review everything, and tomorrow I'm gonna be at the office around the same time. You can give me a call, be like, hey, Mohammed, break it down for me. I'll break everything down for you, and then if you wanna take it to your lawyer, you're more than welcome to do so. Let them go through the documentation and everything. And if you're comfortable, then we sign the document and we start the process, okay?
Okay, and what is your name?
Mohammed from WeBuyHomeNationwide.com. Just save me up. Can you?
Okay, sounds great. Thank you. I'll look forward to that then. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.